Angie Chaplin.
Kevin Eikenberry. You know, I don't know whether to say lead on or party on or rock on, so all of the above.
Well, I like all of those.
Or yoo-hoo or hee-haw. I mean, we've got so many things we could say.
Okay, everyone's coming back online, and I felt kind of bad when I said, oh, we lost the signal, and we're going to put Angie on when there's nobody here, but everyone's coming back, and so I love that. So Angie Chaplin is a person that I have not yet met face-to-face. So it's been cool to do this show because there are people that I've met and people that I haven't always met and know well and don't know as well. I've known for a long time, known for a short time. Angie, I love you, and I am so glad you're on. And really want you to talk about, one of my competitors. How about that?
Lovely.
But seriously, I want you to talk about, I know that you are a master trainer, I think that's the right word, for the Leadership Challenge. And if folks, if you're not going to read Remarkable Leadership, the next best book in the world to read on leadership is Leadership Challenge. How's that? The Leadership Challenge is a phenomenal leadership book, and really, if you haven't read it, you need to. And Angie's on with us because I asked her to, and because she said yes, which is awesome. And also because I know that she can talk to us a little bit about the Leadership Challenge and the work she does and the work that other people can do there. And so, would you do that for us, Angie?
Certainly. And I have to say, I love a couple of the key messages that your previous guests have pointed out because they're such beautiful segues into the Leadership Challenge. And that's the first, that really none of us in this field are about competition. And I know you jokingly refer to your competitors, but there's so much good work out there that we are all, this is the spirit of community, that we are all collaborators. And I think the more that you do connection building and relationship building and establish networks, the better off we all are, because it makes us better learners, which makes us better leaders. And then through the law of reciprocity, we can just continue to pay that forward. So that's one of the messages I wanted to reinforce. And the other is this essence of the inner exploration. And that really is the first step in the Leadership Challenge. And it's first of 5 practices, which is Model the Way. And Model the Way is about finding your voice. And it really is this exploration of your inner territory, which can sound kind of creepy because in some cases it means getting up close and personal with ourselves and some of the good, bad, and ugly that we may be trying to keep hidden. But the root word of lead actually means to travel, to go somewhere. And unless we're not willing to take that deep dive into who we are as leader, that makes it a lot harder for us to be a catalyst or to extract that essence of leadership in other people. So the Leadership Challenge, and the reason it speaks to me and so many other facilitators across the world is that it's complex, but it's simplistic. And yes, that's the paradox, and of course there's many paradoxes in leadership. But I talked about Model the Way, and the second practice is Inspire a Shared Vision, Challenge the Process, Enable Others to Act, and Encourage the Heart. And within each of those phrases are so many powerful lessons that we could spend hours and weeks and months diving into. But that really gives a teaser of the important and significant messages embraced by the Leadership Challenge. And embraced also indirectly by Remarkable Leadership.
You know what? I think you're right, and it's interesting how many of the master or top facilitators of Leadership Challenge that I've gotten to know. Robert Thompson's another one of them that I know well, and when we were at ASTD this summer, whenever it was in June, I guess, I talked with Jim and Barry briefly, the authors of Leadership Challenge, and Jim and I had a short little mutual admiration society for each other's work, which certainly, as not as far along as them from a length of impact on the writing front, made me feel really good, and they're great guys. And I did laugh when I said competitors because I meant it that way. In the chat stream, Kevin Eikenberry 1, which is Guy, actually, is posted the link to something that you're up to. You're doing an upcoming course in the Leadership Challenge. So
I am, exactly. I am teaching a 3-day exciting opportunity for anyone in the Milwaukee, Chicago, Madison areas to get more understanding and exploration of themselves as leaders using the Leadership Challenge as a framework.
That's fantastic. I want to say something else about my connection to the Leadership Challenge, and that is, before we built our 360, our 360 leadership assessment tool, the tool that I used and the tool that I recommended and the tool that I still recommend is the 360 assessment based on the Leadership Challenge. It's a great assessment, and that's, it's outstanding. Again, I like ours, but it's a fabulous tool, and it's been used around the world, and you can't go wrong as long as you get a great person to facilitate it. And the big key to that is the big key to any 360 process, and I'm sure you'd agree with me, Angie, is it's not about the tool, it's about the application of the tool and the lessons from the tool, and really the coaching that comes with it. I'm sure you would agree with me.
It's certainly, none of them are standalone, and certainly there are a variety of wonderful tools out there. Yours, the Leadership Practices Inventory, and then what do you do with it? It just becomes a piece of paper or another stack or another report if it just gathers dust on a bookshelf somewhere. But what do you do? How do you engage with a coach or some kind of an executive mentor to help you use that as a springboard or as a catalyst to improve yourself as a leader? And that's the quality of a 360, is it's not just a mirror, but it's also a sphere of influence. And it's how do the people that who are impacted by your leadership respond and perceive your leadership. And that information is even more critical than what our self-assessment might look like.
And so the power of and, right? And it's the springboard with the right coaching and help with the tool itself, is the springboard to you figuring out where do I need to go next to become a more effective, more remarkable leader.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, that's why we're doing it to start with, right?
Right.
So Angie, some stuff is changing in your world. I know that, and so we all know that one of the big things about leadership to be successful is about managing and leading and understanding change. And so I know that you're going to get a chance to get even better at that in the next couple of months. And I also know, telling this to everyone right now, that you and I are going to have some conversations in the next weeks about how we might be able to do some work together, which is really exciting to me. Don't know exactly what that looks like, but that's really exciting to me, and I hope it might be to you as well.
Definitely. And again, I thank you for hosting this kind of event, because truly, as I mentioned earlier, we can all be more remarkable by working more closely together. And the more that we benefit from each other, whether it's formal or informal or virtual or face-to-face, I become blessed by the Twitter exchanges and the fact that some of my best friends I've never met have occurred thanks to Twitter. And you are considered one of those best friends I've never met, and it truly is a blessing.
You didn't even know that that's where I was going to go. This is really almost uncanny. So here's the deal. I've been trying to, and I'm not always succeeding at letting everyone on at the party know everyone else's Twitter. If I were to make a list of 10 people leadership people that you should follow on Twitter, my next guest would be one of them. I'll tell you him in a minute. One of my earlier guests, Steve Ressler, would definitely be one of them. And you, Angie Chaplin, would absolutely be one of them. It's Angie Chaplin, at Angie Chaplin. And Guy's going to put that on right now for everyone to see that. So, but that's my lead into the next thing I want to say, because we talked about you being on here starting on Twitter.
Yes,
and
yes,
so
exactly.
I don't know if you know this, but most people don't know this yet. And that is that my next book is coming out very soon, and it's called Leader Tweets.
Ooh.
And it's 140 tweets, so they're all 140 characters or less, 140 tweets about leadership.
Very nice.
And so here's the deal. Between now and 3 o'clock, in the next 16 minutes, how's that? Literally in the next 16 minutes, the person who tweets about my new book, Leader Tweets, just say, whatever you want, the most creative tweet about my new book, Leader Tweets, will get the very first copy signed from me. How's that?
Works for me.
Okay. Angie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. You are a remarkable friend and a remarkable leader, and I thank you for the opportunity.
It was so much my pleasure, and also thank you, and no one else knows this, but thank you for waiting a little bit and being patient, and we appreciate that very, very much.
My pleasure.
Thanks a lot, and I will be talking to you very soon.
Sounds good, Kevin. Lead on.
All right, thanks.